Hello?
Hello.
What are you doing?
We're here to finalize the eviction.
What eviction?
It's a relaxing summer afternoon. You're visiting family about 15 minutes away from your home. You locked your doors before you left like you always do. Your 3 dogs are safely secured inside your house. All of a sudden you get a notification from your Ring doorbell security camera at your front door. You see 2 police officers and some other strangers standing there on your doorstep. They just busted the lock off your front door. They're in the process of entering your home. You have 3 dogs in the house. You immediately have awful thoughts racing through your head about police officers and dogs. Not knowing what else to do, you have no idea what's happening. You confront them using your doorbell's audio speaker. They tell you that they're there to evict you. You have no idea what they're talking about. This was the experience of Jennifer Michele of Land O'Lakes, Florida in Pasco County. It was a complete surprise to her given the fact that she had no knowledge of any eviction proceedings against her. She had been living there for 13 years. She posted this footage to Tik Tok and it went viral. Here it is.
It was posted a week ago. It was posted last week.
On my house?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm caught up on my bills. My dogs are inside there.
What is your name?
My name is Jennifer, and that is my house.
Jennifer, what's your last name, Jennifer? Oh, shit. What? Oh, damn it.
I am caught up on my bills. Nobody has served me an eviction notice.
Yeah, I think it's 4-3.
What the hell is going on?
Shit. We're going to have to fix their lock, change the lock. Hey, we do apologize. We have the wrong house. It's the next door neighbors. What we're going to have to do is they're going to have to repair their lock.
My dogs are inside.
No, we're not going in. We're not going in. Hey, real quick, what's your phone number?
This is a case of out-of-control local government, with law enforcement on reckless autopilot. There was no eviction at this address. The officers had the wrong house. They only realized their mistake when the homeowner confronted them through the doorbell camera. They apologized and acknowledged their mistake. However, they had already pried the lock off the door. The maxim that a man's house is his castle is older than our republic and deeply rooted in Anglo-American jurisprudence. As scholars have observed, it protects all levels of society down to the poorest man living in his cottage. It formed much of the basis of the Fourth Amendment itself. While Fourth Amendment protections have eroded over time, almost everywhere else, cars, schools, sidewalks, airports, and so on, the home still receives the greatest protection under the Constitution. It's our castle. This is expanding in many states with castle doctrine and stand your ground laws and other self-defense protections for law-abiding citizens. Searches and seizures which take place in a person's home are presumptively unreasonable, which means that they are illegal by default according to the Fourth Amendment. The only exceptions being consent or exigent circumstances, which were not at issue here. Thus, where law enforcement busts your lock off your front door without a warrant, or in this case, a valid eviction order, they violated your Fourth Amendment rights by default application of the law. But are there any consequences? This is where, unfortunately, qualified immunity comes in. So there are 2 scenarios. One, where the warrant or eviction order lists the homeowner's correct address, but which is actually the wrong address. So on its face, there is a warrant for that address, but it was supposed to be a different address. Or 2, where the warrant or eviction order lists entirely different address and they just showed up and executed it at the wrong house. This could be equally applicable to arrest warrants, where, for instance, the wrong John Smith is arrested. Is the mistake in the warrant or is it in the execution of the warrant? If the mistake is in the warrant, then how did it get there? Who was responsible? These questions are all important to the qualified immunity issue. The unfortunate reality is that qualified immunity is typically granted in these sorts of mistaken identity or address cases. Not always, but very frequently. But one must also remember that this is Pasco County, the same county as the video I recently posted showing the SWAT-style entry into a woman's home over a building permit inspection. And that brings up what is most likely a better legal argument here, which is the existence of a policy of constitutional misconduct. This is likely not the first time this has happened. This is Pasco County law enforcement showing up in tactical gear, very little information or communication for an eviction. there may be a Monell claim here, which would be important because a county or municipality cannot assert qualified immunity as a defense to Monell liability for a policy of constitutional violations. So the consequence of out-of-control government here was relatively harmless in the end, but often it's not. Similar mistakes are often made with tragic results. When law enforcement forcibly enters someone's home, they do so with firearms, which are often used against its occupants, either human or canine, because they have to get home safe at night, of course. Nobody else does necessarily, but they must, at all costs, protect and serve, of course. When you have the peace of mind that qualified immunity brings, you can just act first and then sort out the damage later, or as we used to say in football, let the paramedics sort them out. So the way these situations are best prevented is to fight against qualified immunity. This requires litigation for these cases to be challenged in court over and over again until the right case makes its way to the U.S. Supreme Court, who originated qualified immunity in the first place. Check out the Institute for Justice's important work in that fight and consider donating to their cause. So thanks for watching. Please share, comment, subscribe. If you want to support what I'm doing here, please consider joining the YouTube channel as a member. If you have a video you want me to review, please send it my way.